I think it's great, but I also think, you know what I mean, it's time we making our own legacy as far as me and him. You know what I mean? But you got two fighter sons that come from that 15-round era. So you got to look at that. You got bloodlines that come from that 15-round era of fighting. That's remarkable in itself. You know what I mean? Aaron Pryor come from that 15-round era. My dad come from that 15-round era. So anytime you got two sons that's coming from that 15-round era, you can always expect fireworks. You got to expect that. You know what I mean? Is it safe to say that the future of boxing, the dads from the past and the fighters from the past want to leave in these sayings, such as former IBF champ Charles Brewer, his son just came about 4-1 in spectacular fashion, and I was boxing him, sparring him in here, and he's definitely going to be good. So anytime you got that, you want your sons to carry that torch, and you want them to take it serious as you did. Like I was telling Charles Brewer's son, he got big shoes to fill, bigger than I have, because his dad was champion of the world. You know what I mean? People don't understand that. Like, you know what I mean? It's more pressure so on the sons than anything. Can you live up to the hype of that, to the expectations of what people perceive you to be? Or you gonna let the pressure get to you? And like I said, I was working with him in here. He's definitely going to be a phenomenal boxer. But like I told him, you got, like you just said, John, you got big shoes to fill. Anytime you're a dad of a world champion, anytime you're a son of a world champion, he's a son of a world champion. That's a lot of pressure.
Is that a blessing or a curse? Because you look at a guy like Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, his son is a good fighter. You know, I'm not going to say he's like his father, but how can you be like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.? So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. What do you think about that?
Like I said, I don't take nothing away from Chavez. I like him. It's just, you could tell certain things has been given to him through his father's legacy. You know what I mean? You can tell certain things life has not been as hard. You know what I mean? His dad was, like I said, his dad is a legend. Icon over in Mexico, they call him. And he deserved everything that he get, Chavez. So, you know what I mean? Through his hard work, Chavez Jr. didn't have it that hard. He didn't have it that hard. You know what I mean? Through the grace of his dad's hard work, he didn't have it that hard. And like, he shouldn't have had, because, you know what I mean, his dad put all the work in. His dad put all the time in. But I say, if Chavez Jr. is going to do it, don't dismantle the legacy of the Chavez name.
Things he's done in the ring, you know, people don't really know if the injury was legitimate. It's, you know, it's hard to question it from the outside. But, you know, if you were to fight a guy like that, I know he's fighting at 175, but does that give you an advantage, knowing he's broken a fight before, knowing that if you take him to that point, he can crack?
No, because you'll never know. You know what I mean? You'll never know what a guy do. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Certain guys can push certain guys to that point, but certain guys, if he get in there with me, I may not push him to that point. You understand what I'm saying? I may not push him to that point. A guy like, let's say Golovkin may push him to that point to quit. May push him to that point to say I had an injury. May push him to that point to have an excuse. We're saying it with Chavez, not just this time. And like I said, I like him. I'm not, you know, talking down on him, but we seen that in the Martinez fight, he had an excuse. I don't know what it was, but it's just like every time he in there with somebody tough and the opposition is A-level, he every time is an excuse, and that's something I don't like.